There's a quiet guilt that comes with trying to save for retirement. You know you should be doing it, but when you actually sit down to lock that money away, it rarely feels like building a future. Instead, it feels like someone is taking your hard-earned cash right out of your hands today. To understand why saving feels like a penalty, imagine I offer you a choice. I can hand you $100 right now, or you can wait exactly 1 year and I'll give you $150. Most of us, honestly, will grab the $100 today. But let's look at what happens when we tweak the timeline on this chart. Now your choice is $100 in 5 years or $150 in 6 years. Suddenly, almost everyone decides to wait the extra year for the bigger payout. It's the exact same 1-year wait and the exact same $50 bonus. Economists call this glitch present bias. The human brain naturally inflates the value of rewards that sit directly in front of us, making today look massive, while rewards in the distant future barely register. Retirement puts this biology to the cruelest possible test. The cost is immediate. You lose a piece of your paycheck today, but the reward is 40 years away. When forced to choose, the future always loses the mental tug-of-war. To put a number on what that biological delay actually costs you, look at this wealth graph for 2 coworkers. First is Maya. She starts at age 25, putting a modest $200 a month into an investment account. Then there's Jordan. He fully intends to save, but present bias whispers next year. He delays for exactly 1 decade, finally starting his $200 monthly investments at age 35. Fast forward to age 65. Jordan falls drastically behind. At a typical long-run market return, he finishes with roughly half of Maya's total retirement wealth. The reason for the massive gap is compounding. Maya's money had an extra decade to earn returns on its own returns. That early head start is worth far more than all the physical cash Jordan contributed over the next 30 years. Jordan's brain tricked him into believing later was a free choice. In reality, yielding to that simple biological delay cost him half his potential fortune. A team of researchers at Stanford University wanted to figure out why this mental delay happens. They set out to see exactly what the human brain does when we try to picture the future. They placed subjects into an fMRI machine, a scanner that monitors real-time blood flow and neural activity, and asked them to think about different concepts. They watched a specific region behind the forehead called the rostral anterior cingulate cortex. This patch of wiring is highly sensitive to identity. As this diagram shows, it behaves one way when you think about yourself, and a completely different way when you think about somebody else. When the researchers asked subjects to picture themselves in 10 years, their brain activity shifted. It moved away from the pattern for me and looked almost exactly like the pattern for a total stranger. Here is where the data becomes actionable. The subjects whose brain scans showed the largest disconnect between now me and future me were the exact same people who had the least amount of money saved. This means your failure to save isn't a sign of irresponsibility. From your brain's perspective, handing over your survival resources to a stranger you've never met makes no sense. It feels like giving your money away. Because we are fighting millions of years of evolutionary wiring, relying on New Year's resolutions and willpower will fail almost every time. Willpower is simply the weakest tool in the box. For decades, the corporate 401k model relied heavily on that weak tool. Companies forced employees to manually opt in to their retirement plans. You had to fill out the forms and pick your contributions. Present bias thrived here, as workers constantly procrastinated doing the paperwork. Then, behavioral economists made a simple systemic design change. They switched the default. New employees were automatically enrolled on day 1. If you didn't want to save, you had to actively opt out. Look at what happened to the numbers. Without changing a single thing about the money or the retirement plan, participation rocketed from 49% to roughly 86%. Those employees didn't suddenly develop more discipline. The system outsmarted their biology by making the lazy choice, doing nothing, equal the correct choice. Even when people want to save, there's another biological hurdle: loss aversion. Watching your immediate take-home pay drop feels like a physical punishment. To bypass this pain, a program called Save More Tomorrow was designed by a team that included economist Richard Thaler. They decided to trick the brain's internal timing mechanisms. The mechanics are clever. The program asks workers to commit today to saving a portion of their future raises. Because the money comes out of a raise that hasn't happened yet, their current paycheck never shrinks. The results are visible right here on this step chart. In less than 4 years, workers who joined the program pushed their savings rates from a measly 3.5% to over 13.6%. People who retire comfortably do not have superior willpower. They utilize designs that remove the decision from their lazy, present-biased brains entirely. You can apply these exact designs to your own life today. Step 1 is complete automation. Turn on auto-escalation to capture future raises automatically, and if your employer offers a 401k match, contribute enough to get all of it. Walking away from a match is leaving free money on the sidewalk. Step 2 is intercepting your windfalls. Pre-commit to routing tax refunds and bonuses directly into investments. You have to hide them before your brain can mentally label them as fun money. Step 3 sounds unusual, but the data backs it up. Close the empathy gap. Use an aging app on your phone to literally look your older self in the eye. Making that abstract stranger feel real changes how your brain values their money. Failing to save is not a moral character flaw. It is merely a glitch in our human hardware. By abandoning willpower and building automated systems instead, you can finally take care of the stranger at the end of the road. Because that stranger is you.